What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here. We're going to be doing the Scorpion Breaker. We're going to show you guys how you can do pretty much all the milestones so you can get the 7 yellow, 7 red unlock here, basically with just 5 nodes. We'll quickly go over the mods here. We're going to pretty much take all the Arch Nemesis, Blinded by Power, Hold'em, Indestructible Mind, Arch Nemesis, Bad Teammates, Make a Count, Fear the Serpent, and Get Ready. Those are going to give you the most amount of points, and without increasing health or damage or armor, this is going to actually make it pretty smooth as well. We'll quickly go over the roster as well here, but basically the first section we use our Daring Warriors, and then we clean up with our Odin comp. Doesn't really matter who you use for a cleanup. You just need to make sure Odin's in there, and you can pretty much clean up the rest of it. Second node obviously has to be the Exalted X-Men, and then the third one, we're going to take advantage of our Insidious 6, which has been utilized so much in a lot of game modes lately. So great team here, and then we're going to clean up with basically Spider Society. They don't have to be built up. They just have to get to that point where you can throw another trash team in there to do some cleanup, and it is pretty straightforward even with a low Spider Society team. Then we're going to clean things up here with our massive, our cosmic team here between Surfer Breaker and Kahh Quasar, and feeding energy to Knull as well, thanks to Thanos. And then finally, we're going to finish things off here with a pretty basic team with our Super Skrull Blastaar combo, which is actually out of the 5 nodes, this is the easiest one here to do, but you do have to have the Awakened materials for Blastaar, and you need the basic. You need the Awakened basic at minimum, or you need to have either the ultimate or the passives built up, just so we can allow for him to feel that speed bar. Other than that, guys, those are the 5 nodes. Again, these are the mods: Arch Nemesis, Blinded by Power, Hold'em, Indestructible Mind, Arch Nemesis, Bad Teammates, Make a Count, Fear the Serpent, and Get Ready. That is it, guys. Let's quickly dive into the roster, and then we're going to jump into the gameplay. And apologies now in advance. I'm not going to do full commentary. I'll just do kind of a brief touch points, because yeah, it's a very, very lengthy battle, and for me to talk that long, I don't know if anybody would want to hear me talk for that long, but I will probably get some other gameplay when I do the entire run. Keep in mind, these are only 5 nodes, and if you are able to do basically the entire run of this, you're most likely going to get into the top 150 as well. But for the purposes of this video, this is your easy ticket here to get that 7 yellow, 7 red unlock with 5 nodes, and we'll call it part 1 for now. Other than that, let's jump into the roster. Okay, roster-wise, let's take a look here. So, first team, Daring Warriors, here we are. Oh, it does look like I need to bring them up here, so that's great. Speedball is 110. Then we have Daredevil, also level 110 from the previous Surfer Breaker. Level 110 on Xavier. And we have our 4-star Eclipse as well. And we also have our 110 Night Thrasher. So everybody is 110 on the first node because of the fact that you need that requirement. And you can clean up afterwards with your Odin plus ETC. Then the next one, we've got our Exalted X-Men. Also pretty built up as well here. Most of these guys are at least gear tier 20, 6 stars. Storm, we just brought up to 2 diamonds since we used our power cores to get the extra shards on her from the orb. Wolverine, level 110 as well. Storm and Wolverine are the only 2 that are 110. Everybody else is 105. Everybody also has their T4s as well. And feel free to pause it if you need to. Our Insidious 6, now that we have the confirmed new tech team, they're still like a global tech team. So City Tech, we're still fine to build these guys up. Level 105 across the board, except for our Hobgoblin, who is level 110. And he's massive here, being purple 5, and also being level 110 gives him that extra boost of damage as well here. Level 105 on the Superior Spider-Man as well. And Shocker is also level 105. Next, we go into our second strongest team in the 5 nodes. Quasar is level 110. And Surfer Breaker is also level 110. So keep in mind. And also Knull is also level 110 as well. We have him as a healer here to help with the sustain. Kahh is tier 19, 105. And Thanos is also tier 20, 105. That is the second, that's the second strongest team. And then finally, we finish things off with 05 with our insane Blastaar. We've got all his Awakened materials now that it is farmable in the store. And again, you want to just make sure you have the basic here where he can fill the speed bar. Or if he doesn't have that one, I believe, I think this one also fills the speed bar as well, 20% per bomb burst. So he just gets faster and faster. So we also have the leader. We also have Sentry here, tier 19, 105. Leader, you don't need too much on him. You just kind of need him there because he's a villain. Yo-Yo is level 95, tier 18. And we also have our Super Skrull, level 105, tier 19. So hopefully makes sense. That's the roster in a nutshell. Like I said, feel free to pause it if you need to. to, you know, to see which T4s I have, to see the character levels as well. I'm just kind of playing this backwards here so you guys can kind of see every character as well here while I'm doing some talking. But essentially, you're going to see that the first node is pretty straightforward with Professor Xavier. And then once we go into the second node, Exalted X-Men, is going to be important here. We need to keep multiple man alive. And then the third node is going to be the Insidious 6. We need to basically nuke out Kahhori and Thanos Endgame when they drop. And then when they do drop, then it makes it a little easier. And then the fourth node is fairly straightforward with our villains, cosmic villains. And then, Mystic Cosmic, I think, or whatever section it is. And then finally, our Super Skrull Blastaar take control of the fifth node fairly easy. So let's quickly jump into the gameplay. Okay, so again, I'm not going to do the full commentary because I've already done it in previous videos. Yeah, I have it in some other ones, and I may do this again here when I do the whole complete run. But again, for this one, you just want to ensure that Professor Xavier uses his special on Sentry so he can take him out. The ideal situation is you want to make sure that Green Goblin can go before your Eclipse, so that way Eclipse can heal up, and then once Eclipse heals up, we can kind of get some of that removal of the damage and some negatives. And then, of course, as well, it doesn't matter that Sentry does his thing here. Professor Xavier is going to be able to remove everything off and use his special. Even though we have the trauma non-mod on, we can still apply trauma because Professor Xavier bypasses that. And then, yeah, just focus kind of in the center. The blinds will help kind of sustain this team for a little bit. But overall, try to keep the cooldowns in check. And you want to make sure Professor Xavier can get to the second wave. And even if you die on this one, I've done it where you can one-shot it. But even if you die on this one, just bring in your Odin plus company, and they can take care of the rest. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the Exalted X-Men is the second node, and this one's important here. These are the ISO 8s I use. I find that having double skirmishers with Morph and Jubilee is really nice. Also, with this particular strategy, it does not matter. You do not need to ensure that these guys live. You just need to make sure you survive the node, and if there's 1 or 2 survivors, that's all that matters. You'll see that here that we don't really care about having the full 5 teams survive. You always want to open up, and you want to target multiple man, kind of get some hits in, and you're going to see here that we're going to try to target Hank down first. Once we take care of Hank, then we go after Apocalypse, and then we kind of take care of Shuri and some of the other stragglers, and then while also trying to keep multiple man alive. When the next wave drops, and if multiple man is still alive, he's going to help give you that fuel, the speed bar for the entire team, and it's going to help you basically launch through the next section here. And it's going to take some timing, guys. It's going to take a little bit of practice, and it's definitely for sure not going to be easy, but once you play it enough times, you're going to know that what works here. Also, what helps is make sure that Hank also has about 4 to 6 bleeds when he gets to his second turn. He's basically just going to die and bleed out, so he doesn't have to flip on the positives. But even if you don't time it right, you can always save Jubilee special as well, so that will take him out as well. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if there's anything other than that. You just have to play through it, like I said, and for the most part, I'll leave the gameplay at normal speed so you guys can still watch what I do, and then you guys can hopefully follow the path forward here and use it for your run as well. All right, so with the Insidious 6 one, you want to make sure, like I said, before the second wave drops, you need to make sure that, or not the second wave, but you need to make sure before you bring in your second team that Kahori and Endgame Thanos are both dead. So the whole point of this wave is just so you can make it to the second one and then nuke down Thanos, Endgame, and Kahori. If those two survive, the next wave that comes in just won't have the sustain or the speed for it. So you need to make sure you can get ahead of that speed. And by doing that, what we do is we want to make sure, right? We want to make sure we can first special these guys down, hope for some crits, hope for some nice damage as well. This is going to kill off some of the characters that are an issue here, which is fine. And then when that next wave drops with the Thanos Endgame and Kahori, then it's going to be a little easier. Save Vulture's ultimate as well here, because that's going to be important here when you're running this section here. You want to make sure that you can use that ultimate to rewind when the second wave drops. Otherwise, it's going to be, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with that section if you don't have that ult ready to go. And then also keep in mind here that when you are going through this node, like I said, the main objective is to take down the Thanos Endgame and the Kahori. I think the big mistake people forget about is if you leave those two alone and then you bring in your next wave, there's just no way you can get through it because Kahori just gets too much turn, and the only way we can kind of stop that is to nuke them out when they get dropped. So this is the reason why we run this comp, and this is the reason why we want to make sure we can kind of get through that node here. We also throw a rewind on Nova and Rocket so they don't take a turn here and use their ultimates. They are quite dangerous if they do that. So again, just focusing those characters. The next wave should drop here perfectly. Now we've got Kahori beside Thanos as well, which works out great for us, and we should get our turn here as well when that next wave drops. We're going to throw the ultimate here in the center here so we can kind of get that cluster on the right side. This is going to give a good amount of damage, get some energy back to the team as well. And then from that point on, we're going to get to Hobgoblin's turn. He's going to be able to use that special as well here. And Scorpion should be able to strip off some of these positives as well. So remember that ultimate that I told you guys to save? This is where it comes in handy now, where we can throw the ultimate, give a little rewind for us. This is going to bring up some of our characters' turns back up to where we need them to be. And then this is going to allow us the ability to use Hobgoblin special right in the center here. And again, we're aiming right on Thanos. We're going to hope for some crits. Boom. That's it, guys. That's all we need. We don't have the increased health mods. We don't have the increased damage or armor mods. This helps us crit these guys down, even with those crazy mods that we have. And this is pretty much straightforward from that point on. You just want to get rid of this node here and get as much damage as you can in here, and then bring in your second team, which is the Spider Society, plus whoever you got. I use my Scorpion Breaker because he's built up, and it should be pretty straightforward. All right, so this is another fun one. I don't really think there's too much to this one here. Just making sure you're trying to make sure you have your energy. Don't summon Knull because Kestrel's on the board here. Take her out ASAP with Quasar's special and Silver Surfer his special as well. And then once you nuke down Kestrel and you can get some of these stragglers down, then bring out the Carnage, and then everything else should be pretty smooth forward here. This is probably the second easiest node, I would say, out of the 5 sections, just because we have some pretty powerful characters at our disposal. Silver Surfer and Knull being two of the best characters in game right now. And of course, as well, they make some pretty short work of this section. Hopefully you guys are able to see that here. Again, I'll leave the gameplay footage at normal speed so you guys can follow it if you need to, but for the most part, pretty straightforward, and Knull kills off anybody with the revive once as well, which is really nice when he pings and kills. Keep him as a healer here to sustain as well Thanos' health. Thanos is going to provide the energy, and he's going to give limitless energy to Surfer Breaker and to Knull, and we should be ready here for the next time we use these guys once we complete this node. All right, so finally, the last section here. This is a fun one here. I actually really enjoy this node. I know a lot of people don't like it, but they've pretty much designed this node for Super Scroll and Blastaar. And as so long as you can kind of get those other two key pieces with the team here, it is a very, very smooth lineup, and you shouldn't have too many issues. We use Yo-Yo and we use Brain Leader. I was calling Brain because he's got a big brain. But yeah, we use those 5 characters, and you're going to see that their high speeds come in really handy here for taking down some of these characters. So hopefully you guys are able to take advantage of it. You're going to notice that I use basic quite a bit here just so we can get the bomb bursts, and really other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of people have been asking me why I get so much speed meter from the turn. It's because of that buff, right? We get the safeguard to the enemy teams, and again, right, we feel the speed from Super Scroll thanks to all the positives and the safeguards. He's going to be able to take like 3 turns before they even take 1 turn. We're going to use basics here to feel the speed bar on our Blastaar as well, and every time he gets a bomb burst, right, he gets faster, and he also gets more damage as well to his damage output when he does use his ultimate, right? So we're going to do the basic here on anybody that has a striker, and again, you're going to see that he double taps in building that bomb burst up to 4 now, so he gets even faster. And honestly, this node is very, very easy if you have the awakened passive materials. I'm not saying it's not impossible without it, but I would definitely say it's 1,000 times easier, and right now it's purchasable. Just use your sigils, use those sigils that we've been earning from all the events, and build them up, and then that way you're going to be able to just feel the speed bar on Blastaar, and you should be able to get through it pretty easy here. So other than that, guys, I hope this has helped you guys out. Hopefully you guys are able to get through the first 5 nodes here. Again, this is the lineup. Pretty straightforward team. There's not too much to it other than the fact that you just got to hit basic. He's going to clear off a lot of these pesky characters. And then, yeah, we're going to do the same thing again here. We're just going to throw the basic. The basic is going to build the bomb burst again because we're not done yet, right? We got Knull. We got Carnage dropping here as well. So we want to take care of those baddies. And although you can be tempted here to use the ultimate, stick with the course. Stay with the basics, because once we use those basics, we're going to feel the speed for Blastaar. We're going to feel his bomb burst, and then he's going to take so much more turns. And like I said, even attacking himself here thanks to Knull's passive, that actually helps us out here. So again, this is where in this situation here, we got more than 3 bomb bursts. We can potentially ult, but we're going to throw the special here so we get an ability to block all these characters. And then he should get another turn here just because of the striker. And then right here, boom, we're going to unleash the chaos again here. This should kill off pretty much Knull now, and then we should be able to build it up again here, and we should be able to do it again. So really, really easy. Probably the easiest out of the 5 nodes if you have the right characters, and you don't need them super built up either. So let me know in the comments below how you guys do with these sections here. Other than that, this is part 1. I will do the other 5 nodes when I get a minute or 2 here in the next few days. But other than that, I hope this early gameplay helps you guys out here, and hopefully you guys are able to get the 7 yellow, 7 red unlock here just by doing 5 nodes. You don't need to have your Amazing Avengers for this particular section, so good stuff if you guys are able to get the 7 yellow, 7 red with this guide. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.